Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm, of course, Mr. Backwoods. Today, we're going to be getting started on the chicken coop project. So, I actually am the kind of guy that wants to reuse any materials I have. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking down these hideous telephone poles that have been on the side of my house ever since we bought it. One is a wee bit shorter, this one here, and then this one over here is absolutely giant. So I'm going to be cutting them down with a chainsaw and just hoping I don't nail my house with it, because yeah, that's going to be a real bad situation. So we're going to try to get started on this. Like I say, if we can reclaim and reuse some materials, that's just one or two less trees that have to die in this world. So I actually reclaimed some other lumber as well. I did, however, go to Lowe's, buy some fresh treated 2x4s, some non-treated 2x4s, and bought some tin, some metal roofing sheets for the roof itself, as well as some hardware cloth. So without further ado, you guys, let's jump into it and see if we can get these big telephone poles down without destroying my roof. Alright, we're about to make a cut on this first pole. It is the shorter of the two, so we shouldn't have any problem with it. I do want to put a quick disclaimer out there. I am by no means a professional at any of this. I just kind of wing it and go with the flow. So you take your own judgment and do what you will with your own logic and your own judgment in mind. I'm going to hope that this goes very well. I have cut trees with my brother, and I've learned a thing or two from him. So let's see how this goes. So the first one went without a hitch, went very well. Let's see how this second one does. This one is by far much taller. And yeah, I'm going to put you guys back here so you can get a better view of it from way back, since it's such a tall pole, but also to keep y'all out of harm's way. Now, I'm just going to say, yeah, things could go really bad right here, okay? If this thing goes the wrong way, yeah, I'm probably buying a new roof for my house. And I doubt my wife will be too pleased at all. But without further ado, you guys, let's try to get this thing dropped. took out a limb, but that could have gone much, much worse. So I am very happy with it, you guys. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and cut this first shorter pole up into pieces. I'm going to do 3-foot posts, 1 foot in the ground, 2 foot above ground, and then I'm going to build the coop on top of it. I'm going to try to use 4 posts and, build the main frame up off of it, and that will be a sturdy, stable foundation so that we can build the chicken coop on top of. Now, I will say this, while I'm using and utilizing things that I have on the property, do what you have to do. If you have something around, even cedars, if you need to drop a cedar or two and use those for your posts, by all means, if you have the property, make use of it. The other option, alternatively, is definitely to just go buy some 4x4 posts, save this trouble, but I needed to get these off the side of my house anyways, so this is kind of a 2 birds with 1 stone situation. I'm actually going to leave this one here, and I'm going to use it to stack firewood in between, but I will come back later and remove that stub from that first post toward the front corner of the house. But let's get these things cut into 4 pieces. As you see, we're right here at the entrance to the field. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear a spot right in here. So basically we'll end up with the chicken coop right near the gate to where we enter the field. It is raining. It has started raining on me, but that's not going to stop the progress. I'm going to go ahead and get started digging some post holes. Figure the ground will be a little softer for me anyhow. Let's get to it. We'll see y'all there. Got a couple ant beds I run across, so we're going to put some fire ant killer over here on these couple of mounds. It'll be a few days, if not several days, before I actually put the chickens here. So I want to get rid of at least the big ant beds. I know the chickens will eat the ants, but I don't want huge mounds inside of the coop when I first release these small chickens. This stuff, while it smells like just straight up rotten eggs, oh, it works fantastically. All right, we are back at it. We had some rain come through. I mean, it was a torrential downpour. So I had to take a break in the action, but we're back out here. I've measured these out exactly 3.5 foot. I have measured to make sure that it is square. We want our posts to go inside of these corner flags that I have put down. That way, whenever the boards come and meet up, they will be on the outside of it and will be around 3.5 foot square. I'm going to take a paint stick and just mark a couple of square elbows here, so when we go to digging our holes, we know exactly where we have to stay inside of with our post. If we get outside of that, we're essentially going to have a situation where I don't have enough roofing metal, and I wanted to do this at $100 budget. Now this will differ. This is $100 budget for this project that I'm doing. I happen to have some things around the property, some reclaimed wood. I chopped down those telephone poles I had on the property so I didn't have to buy posts. I got this marked out. Let's grab some post hole diggers and get to work on these holes. Alright, we got the post set in the holes now. We're going to check for level. It does not have to be perfect, as I will be coming along the outsides with actual 2x4s or 2x6s. So as long as I get those level, we'll be perfectly fine. But I did want to get these pretty close to level. So I think we got them looking pretty good. That is almost spot on. That one is spot on. Boom, right on the money. That one's a smidge off. That side needs to come down a hair, but as I say, I'm not real concerned about it. That's something we can fix when we're putting the boards on the sides. Alright, we got everything fairly leveled out. I do have a piece of level here, which is literally a half a level, but it is going to be perfect for what I need to make sure that they are straight up and down. I'm a firm believer that the right tools are not the perfect tools for the job. The right tools are the tools that you have. So just keep that in mind. You can always make it work. let's start packing these babies in the ground. All right, you guys, we got the dirt packed in around these posts. It's starting to get dark. It just rained a little bit ago. It is super, super humid. If you know anything about Georgia, after it rains, it is humid and sticky as all get out. I'm pretty drenched in sweat. We got our posts in the ground. We can start building and framing out the actual chicken coop on top of these posts, and we will pick up there tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see y'all then. All right, we are back for day 2 of the chicken coop build. We would have got more done yesterday, but a huge thunderstorm came through the area, and it kind of halted our progress a bit. So in the middle of the day, it stormed for several hours, but today, a little cloudy, but we're able to work, so we're going to hop right back into it. I've already pre-cut a few 2x4s. They are all treated. That is quite imperative. Be sure to use treated wood for anything that's going to be exposed to the elements. This will be the actual floor joist and frame of the base, the very bottom that will be exposed to the weather underneath. So we will be using treated 2x4s. If it was anything larger, I would absolutely use 2x6s, but it is only chicken, so 2x4s will do just fine. We're going to wrap around these posts, and then we're going to put one in the middle as a brace, and then we will cut a piece of plywood as the floor. Luckily, I had some plywood on hand from a recent project, so I didn't have to spend the ridiculous amount of money on a sheet of plywood, because lumber is insanely high. Another place that I save money is screws. I had a ton of screws laying around as well from past projects, so we're going to make good use of those, and that's how I'm able to keep this project at $100. Let's jump right into it and get this thing going. we got the plywood cut out. It fits absolutely perfect. We had to do it in 2 pieces, so we will tack it in the middle on that joist that we put. Not only extra support, you gotta have some kind of joist. If it was, something more than a chicken coop, I would absolutely have put 2 or 3 in there. But for the purposes that we're building this for, I don't think the chickens will complain. All right, you guys will see we got the front and back walls done. The front wall is 24 foot. The back wall is a couple of inches lower so that our roof will have a pitch. That way it can shed off rainwater. You don't need much of a pitch, but just a couple of inches will definitely do it. We got a 10 by 12 door. I figure that'll accommodate even the fattest of chickens. But we will come back later and put a ramp right here so the chickens can get into the coop. But now we're going to start doing the sidewalls and, of course, frame out the roof. And then we'll come back with some kind of siding on this. All right, so I almost forgot I was going to start closing in the sidewalls, but I need to build the laying boxes for the chickens. So the average size laying box is about a 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 2 dividers at 12 by 12 out of plywood, and I'm just going to round the edge off so that it don't, poke the chickens or injure any of the chickens while they're in there. I'm going to connect these directly to the floor with some small L brackets and some really small screws. So let's get to work on this. Alright, I got 2 pieces absolutely identical. As you can see, I just took the skill saw and rounded off the edges. By no means is it perfect, but it makes it so there's no sharp edges that can hurt the chickens. cut this piece of metal in two. This is the cheapest roofing metal that I could find at Lowe's. By all means, it will do just fine for the chicken coop, but I want to take some precautions. I will be cutting this with a circular saw, so I'm going to throw on some shades as eye protection. And the crazy thing is I never ever wear eye protection, but when you're dealing with metal, yeah, I'm not taking any chances. So we're going to try to cut this thing at 4 feet, and that way we have two 4 feet pieces that will cover the roof of our chicken coop. Let's see what we can do. Alright, that actually turned out a lot better than I expected. As you see, cut it pretty nice and straight. But again, I cannot stress enough, please wear eye protection. I literally could feel chunks of metal hitting my arm and just flying everywhere. So a circular saw works great. I kind of hate trying to finagle those snips. You end up cutting your hands all up. Your metal ends up being a mess in the end anyhow. So you can do it with a skill saw, but please, please, wear eye protection. We're going to get back to putting this roof on. Alright, so we got the boards put on top. We're going to tie the metal roof onto these. I did put some pieces right here on the front and back just to keep it from bowing in. And I still have some gaps in here that will allow some air to flow in and out. Chickens definitely need some decent airflow, so I'm hoping with that it will help with that. But we're going to go ahead and throw the roof on here. going to start throwing some boards on the side of this thing, get this thing fully dried in and enclosed. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this as a two-part video. The actual outside perimeter that I got to build and wrap in chicken wire hardware cloth, yeah, that's going to be about a day or two project all its own. So we're going to get to work on this and get this thing dried in. I wanted to let y'all know what kind of wood I'm using for the sides. This is the same wood that I used for the underpinning on the shed build. If you guys have not seen that, go back, check that video out. It's a two-parter as well. But it is fence boards. They are cheap, and I get them at Lowe's. They're only like $1.98 each. And they hold up to the weather fairly well, and again, they're super cheap. So for a job like this, when I'm trying to keep the budget low, worked out perfectly. figured I would give y'all a little close-up view of what we got done here. I got all the sides wrapped up, and no, I did not forget an access point for getting the eggs out. I'm actually going to come back and take 2 boards out right here and cut about here and here, and I'm going to attach those 2 boards together, and I'm going to hinge it at the top. I didn't want to mess it up and use the whole board so that I couldn't put trim on these edges over here, these corners. So I'm actually going to come back and cut out and make a door on the back, and we'll be able to get our eggs out. Like I say, the roof turned out pretty good. It ain't perfect by any means, but it'll keep the chickens dry. So we're going to hop back into a different view and close this thing out. All right, you guys, we have come to the end of the chicken coop build, part 1. I think we accomplished what we wanted to here. We got this thing dried in. We got a roof on it. You know, all that work cutting down those poles to, reuse them for these legs here. Yeah, that was quite a bit of effort, but it saved us a lot of money on this build. So we've stayed well within the budget. Like I say, we are right about $100 even on this thing. And that is due to us having some of the materials already around. So definitely keep that in mind if you go to do something like this. If you have some materials already, it's going to save you a whole lot in the long run. But I do appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to come back and check out part 2 of this build and see what the conclusion is and how this turns out. But much love to you guys. We'll see y'all on the next one.